it's Monday and I figured I'd get into this filming stuff a little earlier this week than I did last week so I could show you guys more stuff that happens. I'm pretty excited today because I haven't talked to Panda in a few days and he gave me a call this morning and he's trying to get off work early and we can come up and have like, probably it's like our second or third planning session, but this should be our third and final planning session. We've really like thought over the process of turboing his car and we just kind of want to make, you know, like really good decisions. We had so many different thoughts like going into it, you know, like should we put the turbo like up in the front by the engine? Should we put the turbo like under the car like some other people have done? Should we put the turbo in the back of the car like remote mount style? Should we put one turbo? Should we put two turbos? All the things, like what about cooling and oil, and after all that planning we kind of came up with a plan. It's really good. This is what we drew last time. That's all the notes from our planning session, which is just me scribbling stuff on paper, little pictures of turbos and ideas of where it will go so that Panda can get an idea of what it will look like when we get it done. But I think we've finally agreed on a plan, and he's gonna come right now and we are gonna hash out the details. But it's pretty much down to just like a fuel pump, a tune, and putting the last bit of exhaust and maybe throwing the bumper back on. But this guy couldn't resist getting all the good stuff. He asked me what exhaust I thought he should put on, and since it's an actual race car, my opinion is something that gets all the air out as fast as possible, so big in size or diameter. So either like a dual 2.5, you know, something, or like a single 3-inch or bigger. And you know, weight matters on a road racing car, I guess on any competitive car. So this one happens to be the lightest and it's just one side, so it's easy to take on and off. So we ended up going with the Tomei or whatever you call it, and it should be pretty nice on this Z. So I'm excited to see. It should sound, I mean, I guess just like the yellow one that we did, but it's nice to have a good straight through exhaust. I wonder if this one will throw flames. I'm not really sure if it'll do it, but I guess we'll have to try. So I feel like they did a little bit of a revision on this Tomei exhaust. The last one I put on just like was not quite this fancy, but look how crazy this thing looks. Every time I open this exhaust up specifically, I'm like always so impressed at the quality. I mean, it kind of takes a lot to impress me with exhaust work, but this kit is just crazy. Super light and efficient and works good, and it's oh man, I don't know, looks awesome. All right, on to the next thing. Dude, what did you get? Look, check it out. You ready? Yeah, I'm freaking ready. You broke it! Too much power! Right for flyby! Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. I don't know if we dyno those or not. Just a minute ago, we had Sergio, the owner of the car here, and he really wanted to see it like fire up. So we were able to kind of start it, and it sounds really good. And we have like no leaks, and I am super duper happy with the result. And I thought I would at least let you guys kind of like hear it fire up. So let's check it out really quick. Okay, that wasn't the best start ever. Okay, now it started. I still haven't really scaled the injectors in. I I changed the multiplier a little bit so that it's close, but it's definitely not dialed yet, so. We'll have to see how that Mishimoto like air oil separator thing works. It's the first time I've ever tried it, but it installed pretty nicely and seems like it'll be the right catch can for this application. And hey, what do you know? After like all the painstaking fabrication, we don't have any exhaust leaks, which makes me super happy. And I figure, I mean, it just could have gone worse. I don't have any oil leaks, I don't have any exhaust leaks, and I just like, it's a good way to come back to work. First start of a project that you've been working on for weeks and have it all go perfectly good. Nothing wrong with that at all. So anyway, I would like to say that it's going on the dyno right now like I usually do, but it is not. I actually have to get other work done first. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, definitely this is the most exciting thing I have here, so it would be going on the dyno. But right now, let me shut this off, hold on. But right now, I was lucky enough to get a phone call from somebody that needs this Nismo 370Z tuned, and it's a pretty nice looking car, I must say. It's very low miles and super new, and look, it's got a supercharger. But the complaint was that either it hasn't been tuned or it's just not running right, because it feels kind of like stock horsepower. Matter of fact, the person that brought it said that their wife has a 370Z, and this thing feels kind of the same. Like, it doesn't feel like it has any more power. So they got some uprev stuff for it and they brought it to me, and I'm going to try to sort that out for them. Hopefully it's nothing major, and we can just dial it in the tune and the customer can go away happy, getting some nice supercharged horsepower. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start tuning this really quick right now. You guys just hang out for a minute and then we'll be back in a little bit. Baseline pull on this car, not fantastic. 291 and 243 torque. And I'm looking at the data right now just from doing like a base pull before I even get into the calibration on this one. And yeah, it's like super crazy. Like, I don't know how it runs, Rich. Like, even in the log, like, even if you guys don't know anything about tuning, check this out. Let me see if I can show you the log. Okay, so right here, let it focus, focus, focus. See all these 10s? That's basically like as rich as the sensor reads, I believe. It like bottoms out at like 10.0. And the majority of this run, like every RPM, is just stuck at like 10.0. So it's just super, super fat. So, like, I get it, it's good to be a little on the rich side so you don't like damage or blow things up, but I mean, that's like so rich, I'm surprised it doesn't rich misfire. So I'm going to flash a tune on right now, and then I will sort this thing out and we'll see what we can make. You guys can kind of get an idea of, like, I don't know, like maybe the difference of what timing can do and air fuel can do. I don't know how much like timing will change or how far off they were on that. I won't know till I, you know, try a few pulls and see what's up. But I can guarantee you right now, the air fuel ratio being so far off, that is gonna make a big change. So let's see if we can get this thing from feeling like a stock car to feeling like, you know, a supercharged car. All right, I don't know how many of you remember the 240 that went drag racing with us the other day, but after kind of feeling the power it had, he has decided to upgrade like so many things. So some of his stuff started coming in, and I'm pretty excited. He got a new blow-off valve and wastegate, and they're like the fancy tile ones. I'll show you them really quick right now. Instructions on how it all is assembled. Oh, it's so nice. Gosh, it's so big. The actual tile 44 is just, oh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
Dang, man, the quality. Here's the other cool thing, if you guys didn't notice, is it has like all the springs that you can possibly use for this wastegate. So that way, like for setting up your base pressure for the boost, you could have it really, really low or really, really high. If you always wanted 15 pounds, you could just set up a 15-pound spring. If you wanted like 12, you could set up any base pressure that you wanted. But basically, whichever one you pick, that's the lowest that your boost will ever go. So you just kind of, you know, on the street, if it spins tire at 6 PSI already, then maybe you only want like a 5 PSI spring, so you can try to like dial back the spin a little, and then use like, you know, electric boost controller or something to turn it up, you know, in the other gears if your software allows you to do that. But man, the quality. Okay, next up we got his new blow-off valve.
It says intake throttle.
Intake throttle plate. Oh, it's just showing you the routing. Dang, all the shininess.
That looks like a part that tightened it.
Full seed craziness.
Damn.
Wow, I wish they stayed this clean forever, but you know, cars get things dirty. Gosh, that's super nice. One last thing, when you're picking out a blow-off valve, sometimes they're gonna give you like the different like spring rates that it stays closed at, and they don't really matter too much unless you have a car that has a mass airflow sensor. So all the Nissan people, you probably need to figure out how much vacuum your car actually makes to start with, and then make sure that at idle the blow-off valve will stay closed, because if the air vents out, it'll be unmetered and the sensor will not apply the appropriate fuel. So it actually matters for any car that has a mass airflow sensor. Okay, so just so you guys know how it goes with the tuning process, obviously the tune was from Stillen, and it's like whatever their pre-designed tune was, and it made 291. So I had to start completely over because you're not allowed to tune on Stillen. Like, Stillen owns their own tunes. Obviously, I can't modify them or see them. So we're basically writing a whole nother tune, and we have to start somewhere. So I basically can scale the things in that I know and then make a pull and kind of see where we're at. And first pull, not so good. Basically like 270 horsepower and 250 foot-pounds of torque. So we're like a little off the mark of where Stillen was, but that's just our first pull. So tomorrow when I come in first thing in the morning and make a few more dyno pulls and get a more like accurate data log, I can see what's going on and get the tune sorted out, and then hopefully we can smash those Stillen numbers. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna look over the log tonight so I can get a good idea of what's actually happening, and I should be able to sort it out in the morning. Okay, so I've been tuning away on this thing all day, and I finally had to like email some people that know more about this particular Stillen kit than me, and see if they ever had this kind of issue where the boost just comes on really slow and doesn't make it to the amount that it's supposed to. Because clearly the whole power problem was less about the original tune and more about the fact that it just doesn't make boost where and when it's supposed to in the right amount. So check this out real quick on the graph. Down here we have like 0.4 psi, I think, and it ramps all the way up to a whopping like 4.5 pounds at the end. So if we're kind of wondering why the horsepower is low or close to stock, I mean, it's taking all of its energy to push this supercharger, and at the very, very end, it's only making 4.5 pounds. So, you know, clearly things could be better. So I guess I'm not too concerned. I think we just need to get to the bottom of why it's not actually making boost like right when you hit the gas, you know, like a supercharger is supposed to. And then, you know, we should make, you know, good horsepower numbers. So, well, I guess we won't figure that out today. We'll probably have to wait and see what the heck happens. You know, some information for some of these people that we called, and go from there. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and stuff the pump in this Z so that it can trade places and go in the dyno next. And yeah, it's Friday. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog right here. We've kind of been chatting about all kinds of stuff for a while. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll do some more Z stuff, and we've got Yari just gave me some money to order some parts for the Acura, so that should be up to deck soon. Yeah, 7 days ish. So, all right, guys, see you pretty soon. Bye.